Let's be real. You're working hard, you have big goals, but for some reason, success still feels just out of reach. It's frustrating, right? You see other people making progress, achieving their dreams, and you can't help but wonder, what am I doing wrong? Maybe you tell yourself, I'm not smart enough. I don't have the right connections. Maybe I just don't have what it takes. But let me stop you right there, because none of that is true. The real reason you're not as successful as you want to be, it has nothing to do with talent, luck, or even intelligence. And the best part? Once you understand what's actually holding you back, you can start fixing it today. Now I know what you might be thinking. Okay, so what's the secret? Why am I not where I want to be? Well, let's start with this. Have you ever noticed how the most successful people aren't necessarily the smartest or the most talented? Instead, they have something else, something that sets them apart. It's not magic, it's not luck. It's their mindset and their habits. And if you're not as successful as you want to be, chances are there's something in your daily routine, some pattern, some belief that's quietly keeping you stuck. One of the biggest roadblocks? Waiting for the right time. Tell me if this sounds familiar. I'll start when I feel ready. I just need a little more time. Maybe next week, next month, next year. Here's the harsh truth. There will never be a perfect time. You will never feel 100% ready. And every time you wait for that magical moment when everything lines up perfectly, you're just delaying your own success. Think about it. How many opportunities have you missed just because you were waiting to feel ready? Successful people don't wait until they feel like it. They take action even when they're unsure, even when they're scared, even when they don't have all the answers. And you don't have to take a giant leap all at once. You just have to start, because the second you take action, no matter how small, you start building momentum. And momentum is what separates the people who dream from the people who actually do. But that's just the first piece of the puzzle. There's another reason success feels out of reach, and it's something most people don't even realize they're doing. And that's exactly what we're diving into next. So let's dig into what's really holding you back. We've talked about waiting for the perfect moment and how that's not going to get you anywhere. But there's another sneaky reason why success might be slipping through your fingers. You're too focused on the outcome, not the process. Think about it for a second. How many times have you looked at someone else's success, whether it's a friend, a colleague, or even a celebrity, and thought, I want that. I want the money, the recognition, the freedom. But you're so focused on the big shiny result that you overlook the work it took to get there. Now, don't get me wrong. Having goals is awesome. Wanting success is natural. But if all you're doing is chasing the end result, you're missing out on something much more powerful: the journey. This is one of the biggest mistakes I see people make. They focus on the finish line so much that they forget about the small, everyday steps that lead there. It's like wanting to run a marathon, but only focusing on the medal at the end. The process, the sweat, the setbacks, the training is where the real growth happens. Successful people understand that the process is the reward. They know that showing up every single day, even when things are tough, is what leads to long-term results. Because here's the secret. Success doesn't happen overnight. It's the tiny, consistent actions, day in and day out, that add up. You can't skip the work. Let me give you a quick example. Imagine you're trying to lose weight. If you obsess over the number on the scale, you'll get discouraged when it doesn't change as quickly as you want. But if you shift your focus to the process, eating healthier, exercising more, getting enough sleep, those small changes will eventually add up to the results you want. If you stick with it, eventually you'll look up and realize, wow, I've made progress. This shift from focusing on the outcome to embracing the process is a game changer. It's not just about getting to the finish line, it's about enjoying the journey, learning from your failures, and celebrating the small wins along the way. And here's another point that ties into this. You might be comparing your beginning to someone else's middle. Let me explain what I mean. It's so easy to look at someone who's successful and think, wow, I could never do that. They've got it all figured out. But here's the thing. Most of the time, you're comparing yourself to the polished, finished version of their journey, not the messy beginning where they were making mistakes, failing, and learning just like you are now. Everyone starts somewhere. That famous author you admire? They probably wrote dozens of drafts before their first book got published. The entrepreneur you're following? They probably had failed ventures before they found success. The key is they didn't quit. They kept going, and you can do the same thing. So, here's how you can fix this. Start shifting your mindset from an obsession with the finish line to a focus on the small steps you can take every day. Instead of getting discouraged because you haven't arrived yet, celebrate the work you're doing now. Take pride in showing up every day, even when it feels hard, because that's where success begins, in the commitment to the process. Now, there's one final piece I want to share with you, the one that can really unlock everything for you. It's something you might not want to hear, but it's absolutely crucial, and that's coming up next, so stick with me. All right, we've already broken down two major reasons why success might feel out of reach: waiting for the perfect time and obsessing over the outcome instead of the process. But there's one final thing that might be quietly sabotaging your success. And this one, it's probably the hardest to admit. You are not successful because you are avoiding discomfort. Let that sink in for a second. Most people don't fail because they aren't smart enough or talented enough. They fail because they aren't willing to sit with discomfort long enough to get to the other side. Think about it. Success requires you to do things that feel uncomfortable. Waking up early when you'd rather sleep in? Uncomfortable. Pushing yourself to learn a new skill when it's frustrating? Uncomfortable. Taking risks when you have no guarantee of success? Very uncomfortable. But here's the difference between successful people and everyone else. They don't run from discomfort, they lean into it. Most people, the second something feels difficult or uncertain, they back off. They tell themselves, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I should wait until I feel more confident. And just like that, they stay stuck. But successful people, they understand that discomfort is not a sign to stop. It's a sign they're growing. Let's look at athletes, for example. When they train, they push their muscles past their comfort zone. It's painful. It's exhausting, but that's what makes them stronger. Growth always happens outside of your comfort zone, and the people who succeed are the ones who are willing to stay in that uncomfortable place long enough to get better. So if you've been avoiding hard things, if you've been choosing comfort over growth, ask yourself, where would I be if I stopped avoiding discomfort? Imagine what you could achieve if you stopped quitting the second something felt hard. Imagine how much progress you'd make if you just kept going. And listen, this isn't about being perfect. It's not about working yourself into the ground or forcing yourself to suffer. It's about recognizing that feeling uncomfortable isn't a bad thing. It's a sign that you're stretching yourself, that you're stepping into the person you're meant to become. So here's what I want you to do. The next time you feel resistance, the next time your brain tries to talk you out of doing something because it feels uncomfortable, pause. Recognize that feeling for what it is. And instead of running from it, push through it. Even if it's just for a few minutes longer than you normally would. Because the people who win in life, they're not the ones who avoid discomfort. They're the ones who learn to dance with it. Now, before we wrap this up, I want to hear from you. What's one thing you've been putting off because it feels uncomfortable? Drop it in the comments and let's talk about it. And if this video gave you that push you needed, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss more videos like this. Success isn't about luck. It's not about waiting for the right moment. It's about taking action, trusting the process, and embracing the discomfort that comes with growth. And now you have everything you need to do just that.